U.S. President Donald Trump met Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy at the White House on Friday. Zelenskyy traveled to Washington, seeking support for acquiring American Tomahawk cruise missiles and other military equipment. During a working lunch in the cabinet room, Zelenskyy said, "President Trump has a big chance now to finish this war." He referred to Trump's recent involvement in brokering a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas in the Middle East, and suggested that similar momentum could be applied to end Russia's war against Ukraine, now in its fourth year. "That's why I hope he will do this, and we will also have such big success for Ukraine," he added.
President Trump has a big chance now to finish this war. President Biden now is not the president, so he doesn't have a chance to finish this war. And President Trump is really showed for the world that he can manage ceasefire in Middle East, and that's why I hope that he will do this, and we will also have such big success. For Ukraine, it's a big chance, and I hope that President Trump can manage it.
Trump, who had spoken with Russian President Vladimir Putin in a lengthy phone call the previous day, emphasized his desire to see the conflict end. "We're in it to see that end, and if we can end it quickly, and I think we can, we'll see what happens," Trump said. "The war in the Middle East was far more complicated. We got that one done, and I think we have a good chance." After the meeting, Trump posted on his social media platform, calling their conversation very interesting and cordial. He wrote, "It is time to stop the killing and make a deal." Trump suggested that both Russia and Ukraine should halt fighting, stop where they are, allow both sides to declare victory, and let history make its judgment. "No more shooting, no more death, no more vast and unsustainable sums of money spent," he wrote. Earlier in the week, Trump had shown strong interest in selling long-range missiles to Ukraine, expressing frustration with Russia's continued aggression. However, after his call with Putin, he voiced caution, pointing to the strain on U.S. stockpiles. "That's a problem. We need Tomahawks, and we need a lot of other things that we've been sending to Ukraine over the past 4 years," Trump said while taking questions with Zelenskyy.
The Tomahawks. Do we
Well,
have enough?
that's the problem. We need Tomahawks, and we need a lot of other things that we've been sending over the last 4 years to Ukraine. We've been, we gave them a lot. Now we have a different situation. We send it to the European Union. They pay for it and all that, and they have plenty of money. But it's beyond the money. We need Tomahawks, or we need a lot of other weapons that we're sending to Ukraine. One of the reasons we want to get this war over is exactly that. It's not easy for us to give. You're talking about massive numbers of very powerful weapons. So that's one of the things we'll be talking about. Hopefully they won't need it. Hopefully we'll be able to get the war over with without thinking about Tomahawks. And, I have an obligation also to make sure that we're completely stocked up as a country, because you never know what's going to happen. In war and peace, right? You never know what's going to happen. So we're going to be talking about Tomahawks, and would much rather have them not need Tomahawks. Would much rather have the war be over, to be honest.
Zelenskyy proposed an exchange. If the U.S. provided Tomahawks, Ukraine could supply drones to the United States. Trump responded positively when asked if he would consider that offer.
So for today, of course, we want to finish this war, but the war is another technological war. You don't use just Tomahawks. If you want to target a military goal, you need thousands of drones. It goes together with such missiles. Ukraine has such thousands of our production drones, but we don't have Tomahawks. That's why we need Tomahawks. But United States is a very strong production, and the United States has Tomahawks and other missiles, very strong missiles, but they can have our thousands of drones. That's why where we can work together, where we can strengthen American production.
Zelenskyy also agreed with Trump's statement calling for both sides to stop where they are. The president is right. And we have to stop where we are, Zelenskyy said. Both sides have to stop, but between us, it's about Putin because we didn't begin this war. He described Tomahawks as a potential turning point, arguing that deeper strike capability could pressure Moscow into talks. We want peace. Putin doesn't want it. That's why we need pressure on him, Zelenskyy said.
First of all, I think we need to sit and speak. The second point, we need ceasefire. Even now, you see in the Middle East, it's very difficult to hold ceasefire. Everywhere, in every war, it's very difficult. We want peace. Putin doesn't want. That's why we need pressure on him. We will speak with President today what we need. We understand what we need to push Putin to negotiation table.
Trump expanded on his upcoming meeting with Putin, expected to take place in Budapest, a choice influenced by both leaders' ties with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán. When asked if Zelenskyy would attend, Trump noted ongoing hostility between Kyiv and Moscow. Most likely it's going to be a double meeting, but we will have President Zelenskyy in touch, he said.
We like Viktor Orbán. He likes him, I like him. It's a country that's a safe country. He's done a very good job. He's been a very good leader in the sense of running his country. He doesn't have a lot of the problems that other countries have. And so we've decided that we'll be going to be with Viktor Orbán, and I think he'll be a very good host. But I would say most likely it's going to be a double meeting. It'll be a double meeting, but we will have the President, Zelenskyy, in touch. There's a lot of bad blood with the two presidents, and I'm not speaking out of turn when I say it. It's a very difficult situation. These two leaders do not like each other, and we want to make it comfortable for everybody. So one way or the other, we'll be involved in threes, but it may be separated.
Trump last met Putin at a summit in Alaska in August, which included a military flyover, but ended without major developments. He acknowledged concerns that Putin might be stalling for time. "Yeah, I am," Trump admitted. "I've been played all my life by the best of them, and I came out really well. So it's possible, but I think he wants to make a deal." Trump told reporters he believed a swift resolution was possible if flexibility is shown. Zelenskyy echoed that optimism, pointing to Russian battlefield losses and the Gaza ceasefire as signs of political momentum. "I think this is a momentum to finish Russia's war against Ukraine," he said. "Putin is not ready, but with your help we can stop this war, and we really need it." Friday's visit marked Zelenskyy's third trip to Washington since Trump returned to office in January. Their brief but cooperative meeting reflected signs of improving relations between the two leaders. Trump confirmed that further discussions would continue. Zelenskyy reiterated that Ukraine is willing to pursue diplomacy in pursuit of a ceasefire. "We understand what we need to push Putin to the negotiation table," he said. "We are ready to speak in any format, bilateral, trilateral, it doesn't matter. What matters is peace." He also raised the idea of a bilateral defense agreement with the United States. "For us, bilateral security guarantees between me and President Trump are very important," Zelenskyy said. "We didn't discuss the details yet, but it is the most important document because the United States is very strong."
We understand what we need to push Putin to negotiation table. And as I said previously, so we are ready to speak in any kind of format, bilateral, trilateral, doesn't matter, just peace. This is important. And we don't speak about NATO or NATO. For Ukrainians, it's very important. Of course, it's our decisions of allies to decide where we are.
But are you willing to give up
Yes,
to
but the
NATO?
most important thing for people in Ukraine, which are under each day's attacks, to have really strong security guarantees. NATO is the best, but weapon is very important. Allies on our side is very important. And between us, for us, bilateral security guarantees between me and President Trump is very important. I don't know, we didn't speak with details about it, but this is the most important document because United States is very strong.
That's all for now from Global Pulse Unplugged. Stay sharp, stay informed, and we'll see you next time.